Let's face it, guys, the cost of living, especially in the United States, has gone through the roof over the last couple of years, ever since 2019, 2020, and people are struggling. Let's get into it.
Why is everything so damn expensive? 4 years ago, my rent was $1,200 a month at a luxury apartment complex. It is now $2,100, not even including utilities. I went to the grocery store yesterday, right, and got 3 bags of chips, some ground turkey, and some vegetables, and it was $67! What? My car insurance from 4 years ago until now, with no tickets, no wrecks, no nothing on my driver's record, has gone from $130 to $240 per month. 3 years ago, my electric bill was averaging $45. Now it's averaging $125. You go and get a tank of gas once a week, and you're dropping $70. I mean, a guy can't even buy a can of dip for less than $8. $8 for a can of dip? What the fuck is going on?
Oh, man, that guy... that guy was pretty funny. And, you know, in crazy times like this, you got to find some humor in it. And he's right. Everything has gone up, from food to rent to this to that. Car insurance. I mean, oh my God, don't even get me started on car insurance. That's gone up a ridiculous amount. Even if you have a good driving record, myself included, last, major driving problem I had, I was speeding. It was like 7 years ago. Even my insurance has gone up. It keeps going up a good chunk. Like, what in the world is going on? It's crazy times that we're living in, and that guy almost made me go deaf, but the way he delivered that, it was pretty funny. We need humor in these crazy times because, look, man, they're crazy times. The cost of living is going through the roof, and I don't know if it's going to get better. I really don't. And guys, it's wild. It's getting so expensive to live in the United States that some people are opting to leave and go abroad, go live in Europe, or I think in this example, we're going to look at Spain. Let's take a look at this.
I live and work in Spain, making roughly €1,000 a month, which in America is nothing, but in Spain is more than enough to live. I only work 16 hours a week, and I'm able to afford a super nice apartment in the city center of Madrid. Food costs me €20 a week. My electric bill is like €30 a month. I don't have to worry about gas or a car payment or insurance because the public transportation system is so world class that you don't even need a car at all. Madrid is like the New York of Spain, except if you were living in the city center of New York, you'd have to be making literally at least $5,000 a month, and that's extremely lowballing it. Just their way of life in general, is so much more relaxed and just taking time to enjoy life rather than just working constantly. They literally have a siesta in the middle of the day where they take 3 hours to go nap or go to a coffee shop to hang out with friends. The American mind cannot fathom. It's just crazy to me because, you've been told growing up your whole life that America is the best country in the world. That's just so far from the truth. And it's, very obvious how much worse it is now that I've gotten out.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there, right? Right off the bat, first thing I want to say is that America is still the best country in the world, in my opinion. No matter what people say about the government, the cost of living, the this, the that, you still have the most opportunity out of any country here in America. If you want to get wealthy, build a business, thrive in your career, in my opinion, America is the best place that you can do that. With that being said, it is very, very expensive to live here, and it's gotten more expensive over the last couple of years to the point where people like this lady here are moving abroad to Spain. They're going to Greece. They're going to this, to that. And by the way, I have family in Greece. Again, my parents are from Greece. My grandparents immigrated, so I kind of know how it is in Europe. They don't make a lot of money. She said she makes $1,000 or euros a month. in Greece, it's roughly the same. 800, 700, 1,000 euros, depending on your job. Obviously, if you're a doctor, you're making more money than that. But most people, trust me, guys, are struggling there as well. You're not just going to go there and live a grand life because, look, they're working a lot. And I'm talking in Greece here. They're working way more than 40 hours a week or right around 40 hours a week, and they're barely surviving. I mean, look, my cousins are in Greece. They're making that kind of money, 800, 900, 700, 1,000 euros a month, and they're all wanting to come here. In fact, my one cousin already moved here from Greece. So you're going to think, oh, man, I'm going to go to Europe and live this grand life, right? But the reality is, man, they're struggling there as well, and even worse than here. A lot of the time, they want to come here, right? There's a reason. America is still the best country, but I don't want to get into that rant in this video, guys.
I think one of the most concerning parts of society is that, like, once something becomes normalized, we just don't really bat an eyelash at how ridiculous they are. Like, all right, here's an example. This was $17. This amount of food, it was $17, and I paid it, and I just go on with my day. It's absolutely insane what this cost of living has become, and we just, because it's normal now, we're just like, well, that's the way it is, It's the same thing when I'm looking up apartments, and I see a studio apartment that's like $3,200 for something that's not even special, and we're just like, oh wow, it's a pretty good neighborhood though, like that. I don't know, $3,200, that's a steal. It's what's happening that this is normal. Like, I get my rent renewal, and it's just an extra $300 a month for absolutely no reason. No upgrades, no change to anything. And they're just like, yeah, that's just cost $300 more now a month. And I'm just like, okay, like, this is just the way it is. When's it going to stop?
Yeah, man, totally. It's, you get used to it. You get used to things fast. When prices go up, initially you're like, oh, come on, man, prices are going up. Why am I paying this much more for the same product or service I was just getting? You have that initial, like, oh my God, type moment, but then you just pay it. It's almost like you have no choice. It's like you have no choice, especially if these things are necessities, right? So sure, you do have a choice not to get an acai bowl, which that guy just spent $17 on an acai bowl. So you can not get those things now that they're getting more expensive, but on the non-negotiables or the items that you need, the necessities, you have to keep paying. You have to keep paying the increased prices. You have no choice. It sucks.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
We're not. Truth of the matter, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck with credit card debt. I know people who are legitimately putting gas and groceries on credit cards just so that they can get back and forth to work. I believe that this is what most people are now calling the silent depression. $100 has become the new $20, and it's ridiculous, but the best thing about it is that people have shifted their core values. Look at this app alone and all the videos of all the retailers on Black Friday that nobody was there. They just don't care anymore. People are realizing that if it doesn't bring value into my life, then I don't need it. And while I don't get political on this app, you're having people on both sides of the aisles going, yeah, this kind of sucks. Right wing, left wing, it doesn't matter. It's the same bird. And now so many Americans are going, I don't care. I think it's woken a lot of people up to the idea of why are we funding things that we don't care about when all of us right here are struggling. It's changed the people's attitude in the workforce to where a job is just a job. You used to be very loyal to a job, but they've seen that there's no employee loyalty because there's no employer loyalty.
Man, this guy is spitting straight facts. That's so true, man. So true. People are fed up, whether you're on the right, you're on the left. It doesn't even matter what side of the political aisle you're on. This is affecting you no matter what, and that's why, in my opinion, everybody in America needs to actually unify on this issue, right? On many issues, quite frankly. I don't know if that will ever happen, but we have to come together, man. We are pretty divided right now. I don't think as divided as people claim, especially on the news, but man, we got to come together on this issue. It's insane. The cost of living has gone up through the roof, and people, like this guy said, are putting necessities on credit cards, groceries, food, right? Rent in some cases. It's crazy you can do that, right? And so many other things on credit cards. Crazy times.
How are we supposed to buy a house when my rent is going up another $195 a month? It has gone up $720 in 4 years for the same place that I live in. $8,640 a year more for the same place I lived in 4 years ago. I'm sorry, property taxes are not going up that much that landlords are charging that much more. We have to stop blaming the economy, the government, the president. It is greedy people taking more profits in. When people tell you, just move somewhere else, why would I move to another state that's cheaper? Why should I have to uproot my family, lose my career, just to afford to live somewhere? You're implying people who live in where I live now don't deserve a fair shot at cost of living. And places with cheaper rent pay lower salaries. That's how this whole thing works for the most part. And my girlfriend's a teacher. Like, if she moves to a state with a cheaper cost of living, she might not even have a pension or her benefits anymore. Instead of telling the middle class to keep, looking somewhere cheaper, why don't you all align together and get people out of control that are doing this to us? You are always closer to being homeless than you are to being rich. Everyone just assumes one day they're going to get rich. And that's why they don't stand up for people just like them in the struggle right now. If not for the raise I got 4 years ago, I would be totally screwed. I don't even want a handout or help. I just want things to not be so crazy expensive every year. Go buy pizza from where I work. Go buy my merchandise. I don't know. Not a handout, just advertising.
A lot of people in America are feeling exactly what this guy is saying, right? Rent keeps going up in price. Whether you blame the landlord, the economy, we're not going to debate that in this video, but a lot of people are feeling what this guy is feeling, right? Rent's going up in price, and wages aren't going up nearly as fast as they should be. I mean, you heard him in the video. He said if he didn't get a raise 4 years ago, he'd be screwed. Well, that's the reality for a lot of people. And the million-dollar question is, will we ever get deflation, prices to come down while wages continue to go up, maybe at a faster rate? That might make this a bit more stomachable, if that's even a word. That might make it easier to deal with, the prices out there. Will we get deflation? I don't know. The reality is there's a lot of unknowns right now, guys, and the cost of living, what we do know is that it has gone up like crazy, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Oh, by the way, hit that like button as well. Peace out.